And a good morning from Hong Kong. Alright, recently, getting together the self-contained system for the tomatoes. It was originally going to be a Dutch bucket, double Dutch bucket system, but anyway, the things have changed. This is the outside that we're looking at of the starboard side, and I've just, because again that's the teak ply, marine treated teak ply. Everything has been fibered, poly-filled, sanded, and now it's got the second coat, or the top coat, last coat of the polyester urethane. I might put on another one, but it's looking good. Put together the plumbing system for it, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what we're doing here. Is I've got these, because I'm not able to find those tidy cat things or any square buckets. I mean, this is Hong Kong. Everything is made here or north of here in mainland China, but it's all shipped to every other country, and it's just, you got to buy a 20-foot container of something that you want. But anyway, I'm making this watering system. So what it's going to be is, here's an example. I just sanding down. This is the top. It's going to have 4 tomato plants in it. Originally, it was only going to be 3 to have 12 inches in between each one. But since I'm going with the smaller system, I figured why not? Let's try it for just this season. It's going to work. But anyway, they sit in there like that. And what it is I'll be able to lift it up, say if a typhoon comes, and I'll be able to disconnect this and say bring it down and put it down in the lazarette if I would want. So here's my system, and it's going to be full of this clay pellets, hydroton, whatever it's called. But now if this is up at the top, this is above the water, as you'll see, like here's the second one, this will come and clip on to here, water will come up, and water will come out these 5 holes. Then I can lift it right back up, disconnect it, everything is good. So that's for the 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's for the 4 spots. This is 800 gallons per hour, a bilge pump. Handles salt water, it handles fresh, whatever. But it's for a boat. It's a bilge pump. It's 24 volt. And what I've done is I've put on this shut-off valve, because normally it's going to come up here. If this is off, all the pressure comes up here. Well, if the pressure is too great from this, if it's too much, I can open this a little bit, and at the bottom of this, I can circulate around my air stone, circulate the water with that to relieve some of the pressure that would be in these lines. And that's what that's for. So that's that, and I'll kind of show you now. I'm going to be putting on the polyester urethane over the top of this today. And what I've got is, it might get bright here, guys. It's sun's starting to come out, and it is all white up here. So what I've got here is, now this one, the inside has a first coat. Again, this box was just like the one you saw downstairs in the main salon. And what I've done is every 16 inches, I have these supports that are, what has happened is, because everything on the boat has, curves off. So water runs on it, water runs off. So I've had to cut in these wedges. So I've measured it and got a decent angle. I still have, because it's 12 inches wide from outside to outside, it's 12 inches. I still have left a 1/4 of an inch pitch So if any water were to run on this, it's going to run off that way, not inside. You know, and the water's going to come down here. I want everything to go off that way. And also, this deck pitches forward to the front of the boat. So everything pitches forward. So there will be a little bit more water down in this corner, in the forward end. So this is where I've put in my drain. So right now it's open, everything is in, but the water will come straight out here. So I can hook on another quick connect hose, go out to where the algae fields are, where the nutrients will be greatly absorbed around the islands here in Hong Kong, and we'll dump the nutrients and let the seaweed absorb those and let them grow happily ever after as well. And then I can go and harvest the seaweed after that. But now that's my drain. I still have to Silcaflex around this. Again, I just set it last night. So what I had done is I had screwed down and Silcaflexed the 4 supports and let that cure overnight. Then I placed this down and screwed that to these supports, and then I've fiberglassed over the top of those screws. So this is not ever coming off. Just not going to come off. It is very, very, very strong. I have 2 baffles in here. In it, I have my baffle, so if we're rocking and rolling, the water is not going to all just slam into one side and slam back. The bilge pump here, we've got these little connects. So these are all epoxied in. And I just showed you the hose system that I'm going to have for the plumbing. Well, I've got that. So I've got, these are the cable ties. You put your cable tie through it and you just kind of cable tie it up. So that's going to hold the plumbing there, you know, and then I can lift out to the buckets. If the pump ever needs to be replaced, I just clip that, take it off, undo the Jubilee clamp, and then put in a new pump. It's as easy as that, but it's secure. And right down here, I'm going to attach my air stone. It's a flat stone. But now this is where they're going to go. So I have one on port, and there'll be another one starboard. So just a little bit more polyester urethaning here. I got to get a second coat in on this. And then that should be good. The top, now the way I've done it is I've got it so the top, I'm going to have brackets at the top here as well that I can attach it to. But this season I'm going to have the 4. See what happens, because again, this is all new to me. And I'm just learning off of the stuff I see on YouTube or what I read online. So I'm able to, if next season, if say I find a bunch of these Tidy Cat, you know, 27-pound and 35-pound buckets, and I can have the double Dutch buckets like I would want, kind of like that Beto bucket system, where at the bottom of the bucket there'll always be that little bit of water. And that, so even if the pump is turned off overnight, there's just that little bit of water that they can drink from until the next morning when the sun comes out. I turn on the system and it just runs all day long when we have sunshine. So, but right now it's just going to be pumping water during the day, and hopefully that hydroton stays wet enough all night and makes them happy. And then the roots will be able to go down in there. Around this, I'm going to use just aquarium filter media, and that, you know, you cut it, and I'll just put a stainless steel 316L stainless steel wire, little twist, hold it in place so no debris or anything gets into the pump and clogs up my system. But that's how the system's going to be working. So I got one partially done, and get downstairs here, and she's ready to go, and I've got to get enough power. Now I've calculated with this bilge pump and the air stone. Hopefully I found the air pumps. I haven't paid for them yet, but they were talking about the voltage. The voltage of the systems. I don't know, where is my air stone? My air stone is somewhere. Alright, well, I'll show you in the next video anyway. But the air pump, it's a 24 volt air pump. Does 3 liters per minute. So what I'll do is, using these boxes that are readily available to me, I'm going to have the power coming in with a decent gland and that, and then everything's watertight here. So, well, let's do it together and see what happens. But what I'm kind of thinking about, this is my concept, because there's going to be a sofa here and there's going to be a chair here, so I should be able to get down here. And what I was thinking about is just putting this right down here, and then in here I'll be able to see my indicator lights. It'll have my on-off switches. The air pump itself will actually sit inside here, so I may have to put in a small vent down at the bottom, because again, it's weather tight. It's got this big seal on it, so to be able to get the air. But it's round, and it'll fit in there according to their measurements, the millimeters. But if I had that attached there, then it's pretty much self-contained. Then from there, I'm able to come up or even go around, and I just got to get wires in. I'd have to cleverly disguise it behind something, because I want it to look nice and clean and tidy. And because I don't think, and it's too high here. So I got some masking tape. Masking tape didn't come off. And I definitely can't put it on the back. So, but I need to get above the water line and seal it. Well, I guess it really wouldn't matter if the water line, where this is at, as long as I sealed it with a decent gland, using a gland and more fiberglass and more epoxy. Because I just got to get the air hose and the power into that. Now, there will be attached to this in here, there will be a float switch for the pump. So if the water level were to ever drop, it'll switch off the bilge, just like in a regular boat. Water goes up, the bilge, or the float goes up, means you have too much water in your bilge, it starts pumping. Goes down, it shuts off. Same concept as what I have in the bottom of my boat right now, and that's what's going to keep this going. So, I'm in with the air stone. I think it should work. In theory, guys, in theory, it should work. So, I made a video. I think if you go on my channel, it's like self-contained Dutch buckets or self-contained tomato bucket system. But it kind of goes into detail of what I want to do. But this is it being in progress. So then for the lettuce, for the lettuce system, I just started. I had to put in some epoxy here because I had a few hairs. When I was rolling, I was in a hurry. But anyway, this has a first coat on it as well, and I have to sand down the outside of this. But this is going to be the nutrient tank for the lettuce that goes all the way across, that NFT or whatever it's called. So this will be the tank for that. So I've got to do some sanding on it. Had fiberglass on it, but again, it's all been fiberglassed. And this will be white as well. So again, this was on the boat when I first came on board. Where my control system is, it was sitting there. It just had a bunch of extra light bulbs and some tools in it, but it was there. So I'm going to use it. And it holds like 18 gallons, 18 gallons, excluding 1 inch right there. So, and I put in decent D-shaped seal and screw her down. But oh, that was the other thing. On these, I've got to go back into Appalachia Chow, but on fiberglass boats, you got these little sealed hatches. You often see them in fiberglass hardtops on the boat, and it's just you unscrew it, and it's just this opening. But they're all watertight. They're sealed. But this is, in the center here, is going to be my access hole. So once I put the first coat of PU paint, then I'm going to cut in that hole, because I'll use a hole saw for that. And I think it's 5 inches is the smallest one I can get. So then that way I can unscrew it, look in there, and then put it back in, and it'll be somewhat watertight. This I've got to run in, and I have to get, they make the square, it's a solid rubber, and but I'll be able to contact adhesive this around on here, so the weight of the hydroton in the tomato plant, when it's down, will actually make somewhat of a seal, so water that touches here is not going to go into the big holes. And then I doubt I'll be able to find a cap for this, so again, I will probably, these are only like $12 Hong Kong, which is like $1.50 US. And I'll probably go get one of these, and what I'll do is I'll just make out of fiberglass, I'll just go make some type of a mold for it, and then make a little cap. So we just have the small hole for the tomato plant, can stretch it apart, put it back down, so we don't get a lot of rain that goes into the tank. But that's what's going on right now. I'll finish this up in the next day or so, and I'll make another video of it working. But right now, I'm in a really good forward momentum to make this work. So, but there's the plumbing. Again, I'm just using garden hose supplies, because that's what is readily available to me. So if it works, use it, and that's what I'm doing. So we'll see. Alright guys, be good, be safe, and always be well. Bye-bye. Well, good morning from Hong Kong. I just got a temporary connection for the pump, but we put in some of the sickly tomatoes. And I don't know, one's been, it's because they were in these little cups, but May says this one's getting some kind of funky comedina on it. But anyway, I mean, it's running, and I mean, it's got a good flow of water coming through it. I'm not sure. It's like, on like the Beto bucket concept, it's like up like the thickness of my thumb here. There's always that little bit of water that's in there, for the roots on tomatoes, that even if you turn off the pump, there's always some nutrients for it. But what I'm doing is I'm flushing out the roots right now, because we had those in just those little cups, and because they're in these little cups, I mean, the roots were all bound, and I think they're just packed with nutrients, and nothing was actually getting to the roots. So I'm just flushing all of them out with fresh water. Well, I've taken the pH down. It's I checked the pH, and it was 6.4. So I guess that'll work for now. But one tip of one tomato got broke when we were putting it in, and that. Not sure what's going to happen with this group, but anyway, it's in, and it's supposed to get some sunshine today. But everything's temporary. I don't have the air stone in it, but that's pretty much what it's going to look like, except I got to get a control, switches, and that. Right now, I'm playing because I can take these out, and I can drain it, put stuff in. But it's just fresh water, and what I'm doing is, as you can see the height here, this is 15 gallons. This is 15 gallons of water, and I mean it's up to my wrist. So 11 inches wide by 4 inches. So it should be enough, and I put the air stone down there, and so far this little valve I have off on the other side, as we're testing it. I guess my question is, you know, everybody keeps saying this polyester urethane is, the MSDS says that it's, you know, food grade once it's cured, because it is a two-part, you know, there's a hardener to it. So I hope so, but we flushed it out and with fresh water, and did that before we got that going, before I put in the water, and I had to pH down the water, because I'm just grabbing some shore water to put that in. Gives us another reason to collect rainwater, you know, when we change the nutrients. But this is the little hose that I connect. So when I want to drain it off the side, again, it's long enough, and you just connector, oh, you know, throw that over the side. It's probably about a meter above the water, and it kind of flops around just from the gravity feed. So that's a good thing. So that's set up. Now today I'm just gonna start running power. I'm gonna get it so I can keep 8 amps on the system. That's all I'm gonna need. Maximum is 8 amps. And so I've got 2.25. That's with the air pump and everything. 2.25. So that gives me 4.5, and I'll probably have about 2.25 back here as well, because it'll all be basically the same. But I'm basing the circuit I'm going to run up here on 8 amps. I might even go up one more gauge of wire so I can carry 10 amps, because the distance from the furthest point till you get down there, I'm going to be going, it's going to be a 7 meter run at 24 volts for, you know, 10 amps. So I'm going to be using a large wire, probably 6 mm, to come up here. And that 4 would carry it, 4 mm square wire would carry it, but I think what 4 mm square is 12. And 6 mm square is 10 AWG. But that's what I'm going to need to power all this safely, so we don't have any hot wires. But we've got one that's working, so I'm testing it, and we just got to attach the tops and air pumps and just the fine electronics to it. But the concept of it working and water flowing has been established. It has truly been established. And see if we can see. I've got a good flow of water there. That's going through the stones. I don't know if it's too far away from it, but you put a couple stones in it. It does kind of block it, doesn't it? It doesn't go straight to the center. So I mean, I've got to play with this, because I see so many different methods, and maybe we just need to get one to stay on the center when I'm just starting it like that. I mean, it's a good stream of water that is going onto it. So I'm playing around, but what's I'm also checking out is I've got the Hydrot and Hydroton, the clay pellets, you know, are above this, so the top does stay pretty dry. And, you know, because the whole thing is, just want to keep it, you know, nice and tidy. But I got to make a cap for that. I got to get a cap for over the top. So, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they live, and see if Dr. May can figure out a way to save this tomato plant. She's been cutting off so many bad leaves. It's a shame. I know I broke that. That's my fault. That's definitely my fault from last night. Going up and down the ladder and stuff, I think I bumped it coming up through the hatch. This little guy's looking good. This one's kind of funky. He's kind of bending with the sun. Hopefully he straightens out once the sun comes out. But that one, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And Lord knows what's going to happen with that one. But anyway, we've cut suckers, and we put suckers in into water, and they're rooting right now. And so we're getting some. We'll have some more. We can replace them. Because again, it's Hong Kong, so we've got a year-round growing season. But this is the next one I'm going to get up and running, and we'll get 4 more plants in it. As you can see, I've got to wash some more hydroton, the clay pellets. But as you can see, the polyester urethane that I put around the top, that really does keep it dark. I mean, absolutely no light from the top is getting in. And then these little clean outs are quite nice. I can fit my arm right into it. You can kind of, I don't know if you can see some activity in there. But it's looking good. It works. It's not using a lot of power. And again, everything here has been powered by the sun. The AC power was created by the sun. And now the DC power that's running these pumps is from the sun. So, free energy. Everybody keeps talking about they want to make this perpetual free energy machine. I tried it. I was on that kick as well. But man, it works. I'm pretty proud. I do need to get 4 more of these. 4 more on the top of this bimini. And try to keep my weight. I don't want it to be too top heavy, so when we go out, you just don't want a top heavy boat. That's no fun to drive. No fun to drive, especially in, when you get some of these Sunseekers and Princess, and you get boats like this, and like that one, and that one, and that one. And, I don't know, did I mention in my other video, I'm at another mooring. Except this one is, we're renting monthly. So, anyway, we're safe. No more mooring issues. So, okay guys, that's all I have about this. Now it's just kind of fine-tuning and playing with these little tomato boxes that I've put together. And they seem to be working. But it's taken a week. Yeah, almost a week. All the fiberglassing and then every coat of polyester urethane that you put on, it's got to cure 24 hours. And just finding the parts and trying to, figure out how the system's going to work. It has been fun. I've had a lot of fun. And I think it's the 15 gallons of nutrients. Because I don't know what I should actually have in here. My reading doesn't show me anything where it says, 1 plant you should have to last 1 week of on tomatoes, you should have at least 7.3 US gallons, of 20 NPK. I can't find anything like that. I'm probably looking in the wrong places because I'm in such a hurry to go build the boxes. So, okay, well, I know I'm rambling on. It's early in the morning. I haven't even had breakfast yet. But the tomato plants got some in, and water is running over the top of them. We'll see what happens. Will they live? Will they die? We'll keep you updated. Be good, be safe, and always be well. Bye-bye.